Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on Zoom. And also, if you are joining us on Facebook, we really appreciate it. My name is Paula. I am the GSA Associate Director, and welcome to GSA 101. So I would like to get to know y'all a little bit. So if you could, in the chat, if you could tell us the name, your name, and then the county that you're from. Hi, Jill from Clark County, Sophia from Kenton, Helena from Fayette, Ethan from Franklin, John from Graves County, Molly from Hardin, how you doing? Dylan from Boone, Emma from Greenup. Oh my goodness, so many amazing folks here today. Hi, Millie from Jessamine. Christina from Wayne, Juliana from Jefferson. Oh, look at that alliteration. Juliana from Jefferson. Don't pay me no attention, y'all. I'm just a little goofy. Ooh. All right, y'all. So you all are here for GSA 101. So I'm going to share my screen one more time, and then we're going to get started, okay? Again, my name is Paula Lockhart. I'm the GSA Associate Director, and I'm so happy to welcome you to today's presentation, where we're going to review the Governor's School for the Arts, or GSA, and we're going to talk about all things GSA. We'll cover what type of students we're looking for, as well as provide an overview of the application process. Now, with this virtual information session, we're basically just covering GSA 101. However, we have had presentations over the fall, over October and November that talk about our specific art forms. All of those presentations are on our website. If you go to KentuckyGSA.org, you will be able to find the recordings and you can watch those as well. Now, today's session is being live streamed on Facebook and recorded. So in the coming days, we are going to upload the recording onto our website. We will have some time for Q&A at the end of the presentation, so feel free to enter your questions in the Q&A feature on Zoom. And then if you're on Facebook, you can type your question on our feed, and our lovely Dean Allen Muir will be responding to it there. Now, if you are attending real time in Zoom, you are going to receive a survey after the presentation. Please complete the survey, as your responses will help us ensure that our recruitment efforts are as helpful and far-reaching as possible. All righty. So, first things first, I'm going to launch a poll in the chat, and I want to get to know y'all just a little bit. So let me go to, stop my screen share real quick. And now I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll. So it's only 2 questions. Shouldn't take you too long to finish it. Ooh, got some great answers coming in. We are almost done. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead and end the poll, and let's see who is joining us tonight. So it looks like a majority of the folks on this webinar are high school students in either 10th or 11th grade, which means ding, 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 y'all can apply for GSA, and we're so excited you're here. We do have some parents / guardians of potential applicants. Thank you all so much for coming, as well as teachers of potential applicants. This is great. Thank you all so much for being a champion in the arts and supporting your students every way that you can. Now, let's see what art forms y'all are interested in. Oh, wow, this is pretty great. It looks like it's quite even. Everyone is interested in everyone's interested in a lot of things. So this is great because GSA is interdisciplinary. That means we encourage collaboration amongst the art forms. So it looks like about 5 of you are interested in architecture and design, 7 folks interested in creative writing. We got 5 dancers, 8 folks who are here for drama, 4 individuals interested in film and photography, some instrumental music peeps, about 8 of y'all, 8 musical theater peeps, 12 folks interested in visual art, and 6 folks interested in vocal music. That is amazing. Thank you all so much for taking the time to fill out the GSA 101 poll. Now, before we get started in the presentation, I would be remiss if I did not introduce y'all to my 2 amazing colleagues who work with GSA. So, since I already spoke your beautiful name, Dean, could you introduce yourself to us on the webinar and in Facebook land?
Of course, thank you. Well, as Paula said, my name is Dean Allen Muir, and I am the GSA Alumni Coordinator, and I'm a 2005 Musical Theater GSA alum myself, and I'm wishing everybody good luck, and I can't wait to answer all your questions.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jessica Graham. I am the GSA Program Manager. So excited to be here with you all. I am a 2007 drama alum from Muhlenberg County, so representing Western Kentucky, and so excited to answer any of the questions that you all may have. And if you call our helpline or email our GSA info I'll be answering those questions. So feel free to call and email away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dean and Jess. All right, so are we ready to get started? Can I get some thumbs up if we're ready to get started? Some thumbs up in the chat. Oh, got some raised hand. Oh, okay. All right, I guess that means it's time to go. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and we're going to get to GSA 101. All right, so what is GSA? Simply put, GSA is the Governor's School for the Arts. It's a community of artists that empowers Kentucky's next generation of creative leaders. The primary way that we accomplish this, and the reason you all are likely here, is through our summer program. So the GSA Summer Program is a 3-week residential program for high school age artists that takes place on a college campus. Students are immersed in an intense, challenging, and exhilarating learning environment in one of 9 art forms. And while each student focuses on the one art form they are attending GSA for, interdisciplinary collaboration is a major component of the program. This means that students are also exposed to and engaged with art forms other than their own. So as I mentioned, GSA has 9 core art forms. They are architecture and design, creative writing, dance, drama, film and photography, instrumental music, musical theater, visual art, and vocal music. Now, class sizes vary amongst each art form and generally are based off the level of interest we see in a given art form's applicant pool. The largest art form is instrumental music with nearly 50 students in each session. And then behind instrumental music, there's visual art. Now, our smaller art forms like architecture and design, they generally have around 16 students per session, just like film and photography. Most other art forms tend to have a class size in the upper 20s to the lower 30s per session. Now, as you heard me mention, there are indeed 2 sessions of GSA Summer Program, thanks to expansion funding we received from the Kentucky Department of Education in 2022. All art forms take place at both sessions, with the exception of architecture and design, which takes place during session 1 only, and dance, which takes place in session 2 only. Dance will have as many as 40 dancers in the second session. Now, the class sizes for 2023 have not been solidified yet, so keep in mind those numbers that I mentioned before may shift. Best of all, this entire experience is provided at no cost to the students. GSA does not charge tuition, room, or board, or any other fees for attending the program. Keeping the program tuition-free has been an important part of our mission since GSA was founded in 1987 as a partnership between the Commonwealth of Kentucky and Kentucky Performing Arts, a nonprofit in Louisville with a statewide mission. We were formerly known as the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts. Before we dive into what the summer program looks like, let's talk about GSA values. What do we believe in? What's important to us? First of all, we believe that artists are vitally important to society. If you are passionate about your art form, that means you. You are important. You are an artist, and artists make vital contributions. They innovate, problem solve, and inspire. Artists spark empathy, joy, social dialogue, and human connection. GSA's role is to connect young artists to affirmation, empowerment, resources, and quality educational opportunities toward a future where they can be the best version of their creative selves. And we know that behind every artist is a network of supporters, from educators to mentors, family, and friends. So if you're watching this as a guardian, teacher, or just a cheerleader for a young artist, GSA is here for you too. Your support and mentorship of them is vitally important. Thank you for being an arts hero. In all things GSA, you can expect to encounter the following values. GSA is uplifting. We believe each of us is capable and deserving of a bright and abundant future. GSA is open and communicative. We celebrate the differences between us and seek out the commonalities we might not have realized we share. GSA is community. We live, learn, and grow together as many individuals contributing to something greater than the sum of our parts. GSA is trust and integrity, because without accountability and honoring our commitments to each other, we can't access the next 3 values: authenticity, vulnerability, and resilience. At GSA, we dare to be our true and best selves, embracing our quirks, growing and learning together, courageously sharing our unique voices with the world, and celebrating each person's worth. GSA is also all about Kentucky love. With students coming from all corners of the Commonwealth, we discover the cultural richness of our state and develop our roles in creating the future we want for our home. And of course, GSA is about creativity and innovation. After all, we are artists. We flip the script, we pivot, we design a brighter tomorrow, and we bring color to everyday life. So that's who we are, but what kind of students are we seeking to join the GSA Summer Program? Let's find out. To be eligible to apply for next summer's program, you must be a high school sophomore or junior in Kentucky. If you're not quite old enough to apply to GSA yet, that's all right. Keep watching us here on Zoom or keep watching on Facebook. You can start preparing yourself now so that you can so that you become a competitive GSA applicant years in advance. Now, it may come as no surprise that GSA is also looking for students who exhibit skill in their art form. We want to ensure that every GSA student is up for the challenge of an intense 3-week experience in their artistic discipline. However, don't be discouraged if you feel like you haven't received a lot of formal training, or if you feel like you don't measure up to other young artists in the state for one reason or another. Just as much as we're looking for proven artistic skill, we are also looking for artistic potential. Plus, the only reason you can guarantee that you won't get into GSA is by not applying. The application process is designed to help prepare you for future opportunities, like college applications. So it's a learning experience no matter what. And remember, at GSA, everyone at GSA, including the adjudicators who score your application, are cheering you on. We want you to do well, and we recognize the ambition and the courage it takes to submit your application. So go for it. Just put yourself out there. Equally as important, GSA looks for students who are passionate about their art form. We aren't just interested in what you create, but why you create it. Think about what you want to accomplish through your creativity. Do you want to make other people smile? Do you want to spark change? At GSA Summer Program, we live, breathe, and eat art. So we're looking for students who exhibit a level of passion and motivation it takes to dive into an opportunity like this one. We're also looking for students who exhibit an ability to collaborate with an open mind. GSA Summer Program is a diverse group of Kentuckians of different identities, perspectives, and walks of life. Students are expected to not only live with people different from themselves, but to learn from them and create with them. Together, we co-create a powerful community that is larger than, but dependent upon, our individual contributions. And of course, we're looking for students who are eager to learn. GSA is designed to challenge you, to present you with new methods, ideas, concepts. So we're looking for students who are excited to keep growing. We know sometimes it can feel a little uncomfortable to be challenged, but that's where the trust and the support of GSA comes into play. We all learn and grow together. Now, it's also worth emphasizing that GSA seeks to welcome applicants of all backgrounds and identities. This means we seek young artists from across the continuum of and at the intersections of race, gender, identity, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, hometown setting, mental and physical health or ability, language, religious belief, political leaning, or cultural background. Translations of our materials are available upon request. And while the GSA application is online, students without access to reliable internet can contact us via telephone. I'll give you the number here in a bit to discuss how we can accommodate the application regardless. All in all, we seek a student body that represents the richly diverse life experiences and perspectives of Kentucky. Because a very profound way for all of us to grow is to learn from people who are different than ourselves. So now we're going to dig a little further into the summer program. What's it like? How will you spend your time? Do students have to do their own laundry? Spoiler alert, you actually do. So on opening day, or the first day of the program, students move into their residential hall and attend an opening ceremony with their guardians. Then it's time to say goodbye to your family for the next 3 weeks. That's right. Once your family leaves campus on opening day, there's no visitation for the entire duration of the program. For some of you, that might be exciting news, and for others, that might sound a little scary, but fear not. Throughout GSA, you will be surrounded by compassionate residential life staff, faculty, and the mental health counselor to help you cope with any stress or homesickness that might arise. One thing to note is that students are not allowed to have their cell phones outside of their dorm room, but you can always call your family and friends at the end of the day. On the second day of the program, we hit the ground running. Each day begins with a provided breakfast, followed by a morning session that is attended by the entire school. These morning sessions can include performances, presentations, and Q&As with artists from a variety of fields and careers. It's a great way to learn about other art forms, and you might even discover careers in the arts that you didn't even know existed. Then it's off to class, or as we call it at GSA, studio time. Studio time can consist of many different activities that vary based on your art form of focus. Classes, workshops, rehearsals, demonstrations, field trip, independent work time, and more. You also receive personalized training from a variety of experts in your field, developing mentorships that can last a lifetime. Now, after 3 hours of morning studio, we break for lunch. The afternoon consists of another 4-hour studio period before heading to dinner. Then in the evening, you guessed it, we're back to studio. Well, most nights. Some evenings can also consist of an all-school presentation featuring a performance or just a presentation that's a little more produced than the morning session. Either way, students are generally occupied until 10 p.m. when we finally return to the residential hall. Students can hit the hay or socialize, but lights must be out by midnight. I want to note that days at GSA are longer than normal school days, and they can be a bit rigorous, so you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Now, while GSA takes place 7 days a week, we start 1 hour later on Saturdays, and students have free time on Sundays until afternoon studio. However, depending on the program needs, students might have to do activities before studio on the weekends. On Sundays, transportation to nearby houses of worship can be arranged for students by GSA staff. There are only 2 days without studio. One of these days is typically an all-school event, such as a field trip or the college fair, and then the other day is geared towards rest and activities planned by the residential life staff. Residential life. Now, back at the dorm, students do experience a rich residential life program. Each student is assigned to a residential advisor, or RA for short. You can think of your RA as sort of a GSA parent. They also live in the dorm with you and serve as mentors to support your ability to have a successful and fun GSA experience. Each student is a member of their RA's group, which consists of GSA students from different art forms in various parts of the state. So you can think of the other students in your RA group as your GSA siblings. While you can spend plenty of time socializing outside of your RA group, they're a cohort of fellow young artists who you'll have regular communication and bonding time with. GSA students tend to develop friendships at the program that last a lifetime. After all, in our everyday life at home, being an artist can often set us apart from others. But at GSA, it's what we all have in common. This creates a very special bond. Even though much of GSA is spent in studio, RAs organize a variety of fun activities for students outside of class time. These can include exercise or sports groups, coffee house, which is a talent show, spirit week, crafts, and skill building groups, excuse me. As mentioned in the earlier slide, the RAs help plan and execute one of the 2 free days. In 2022, this day was called Swinter, aka Summer and Winter Field Day. This day had a nice assortment of indoor and outdoor activities, including a spike ball tournament, cookie decorating, and a volleyball tournament. And the day ended with a school dance. Now, while we encourage everyone to participate, this can also be a great opportunity to have a lazy day in your dorm too. The GSA Summer Program takes place on the beautiful campus of the University of Kentucky, located in Lexington. Students live in Holmes Hall, UK's fine arts residential hall that features not only state-of-the-art living spaces, but also a dance studio, a writing lab, an art studio, and practice rooms. Each student is assigned a roommate from a different art form and a different county. Students share a 2-bedroom suite, meaning each student shares a bathroom and a living space with one other person. But each student has their own individual bedroom. Room layouts for Holmes Hall are available on the University of Kentucky's website if you'd like to learn more. Now, floors are assigned by gender, and we work with non-binary and transgender students to ensure that they have a customized housing situation that is comfortable for them. Now, beyond Holmes Hall, students experience the wide array of stunning facilities at UK. This includes meals in Champion's Kitchen, located within the newly built Student Center, as well as the School of Arts and Visual Studies, the Singletary Center for the Arts, the Fine Arts Building, and the Schmidt Vocal Arts Center. Throughout your time on campus, students are held to a high code of conduct agreed upon prior to the summer program. And like I said before, you actually do have to do your own laundry. So GSA is a great lesson in self-independence and sufficiency. Both sessions of GSA takes place on UK's campus. Now, on the final day of the program, family and friends are invited back on campus for a day of creative celebration. All students showcase their work in some fashion. The day is full of performances, readings, and gallery exhibitions. The day concludes with a graduation ceremony, and then everyone heads home for some well-deserved rest. But the GSA experience does not end after the summer program. No. GSA has a lifelong commitment to our alumni by supporting them toward quality and accessible college experiences and championing them as creative citizens for decades to come. GSA alums receive scholarships to nearly 30 colleges and universities across the country, and the full listing of these scholarships is available in the alumni section of our website. GSA alumni also received significant college/career coaching by way of the college fair during the summer program, an exclusive opportunity to meet with college reps during our fall college and career day events, and through continued mentorships with GSA faculty and staff. Alumni are also eligible to apply for GSA's Toyota Alumni Fund, which provides $5,000 a year in grant funding to support alumni artistic development. And of course, students are connected to nearly 7,000 other GSA alums who are creating exciting work in a variety of fields across the globe. So hopefully by now, you all are on the edge of your seat saying, GSA sounds perfect for me. How can I apply? Well, y'all are in the right place because now we're going to talk about the GSA application process. First things first, some big picture highlights of the application review process. Every applicant must complete an online application to be considered for GSA 2023. As we mentioned earlier, students without reliable internet access are encouraged to contact us via phone about accommodations. The entire application process for GSA from start to finish includes 2 rounds. The first round is completely virtual. Every student who submits an application will be considered in the first virtual round. Then, some applicants are invited to participate in a second and final round of auditions and reviews. This gives them the designation of being a GSA finalist. The GSA class is selected from these GSA finalists, aka the applicants who advance to the second round. Throughout the entire process, we will never ask you for your GPA, SAT, or ACT scores. While we know these are commonly used indicators of student success, we seek out other indicators that fit the GSA model. Students can apply for up to 2 art forms. As we know, artists are often multidisciplinary. Instrumentalists, you can apply for up to 2 instruments if you desire, but that will count as your 2 art forms and you will not be able to submit a 3rd application. There is a $30 application fee that is collected just before submitting your application, and the fee increases to $35 if you apply for 2 art forms. Now, students who are on free or reduced lunch can have this fee completely waived by the click of a button in the application, no questions asked. While we seek a diverse student body across the entire state, there are no demographic acceptance quotas for GSA. This means we don't accept a certain number of students from each county or high school, nor do we seek specific quotas for gender, race, age, grade in school, etc. In lieu of quotas, GSA adjudicators review each applicant in the context of their artistic abilities, their potential, their access to resources, and the identities and perspectives they have to offer. Ultimately, choosing a GSA class that is prepared for the summer program experience and represents a vast array of Kentucky experiences. Now, you may be aware that GSA is one of 3 awesome Governor Schools programs in Kentucky, the other 2 being the Governor Scholars Program, GSP, and the Governor School for Entrepreneurs, GSE. Now, both GSP and GSE are awesome programs. And while all 3 programs are residential summer programs for talented high schoolers, note that our application processes are different. A lot of people are especially familiar with GSP's application process because it significantly relies on a student's, the involvement of a student's high school. Now, I want you to take note that overall, GSA's application process has a less formal involvement from the applicant's school than GSP's, and a student can apply for GSA without any kind of approval from their school. Schools do not nominate students for GSA, and while we encourage students to consult with their teachers and counselors during the application process, it's possible their role in the application will be limited to the recommendation forms, which we're going to discuss more in a bit. Everything you need to know about GSA, including the link to access our application, will be found at our website, which is www.kentuckygsa.org. Generally speaking, everything you need for the application is going to be under a section titled GSA 2023. Now, note that our website is embedded within a larger site for the Kentucky Performing Arts, which manages performing arts spaces here in Louisville. So if you accidentally click on a link and it takes you to a page about a Broadway show or tickets, just go back to the previous page or go back to our home page using the URL kentuckygsa.org. On our website, you're going to find a very important document for your art form called an applicant guide. There are 9 applicant guides in total, 1 for each art form. And we cannot emphasize this next point enough. Read your applicant guide in full before you start the application and consult it throughout the application process. Now, this year's applicant guides were made live on October 6th, and so they're ready for you to view them. The applicant guide should be your one-stop shop for all the information you need during the application process. The applicant guide includes a description of the art form's curriculum during the summer program, an overview of what you need to submit your online application, an overview of what's going to be asked if you advance to the final round, and the criteria for application and the criteria, that the applications are going to be scored on, and a list of tips from the adjudicators. Now, if you have any lingering questions after reading the applicant guide, check out GSA's frequently asked questions document or contact the GSA staff member. And we're going to provide you with the contact information at the end of this webinar. Now, along with the applicant guides, we also created an application walkthrough video, and that is available on our website as well. So as you dig into the applicant guide, here's an overview of what every applicant has to submit as a part of their initial GSA application. Now, the application is currently available and it is due the end of day, January 8th. So you can stop and start your application as much as you want. Just remember to save your work along the way. When you click the Apply Now button on GSA's website, you will be moved to GSA's application portal, which is a separate site called Accepted. You will create a profile with Accepted and then proceed with your application. Now, while the GSA team is here to answer your questions about the application, Accepted has their own technology support team that you can contact if you're experiencing any technology glitches. A quick note, Accepted is not misspelled on this slide. The final E of the word is omitted in the application platform's name. Accepted is also used for applications at various collegiate arts programs, so this may not be your last time using Accepted. Students will be asked for some basic demographic and contact information, and then they'll be asked to identify 2 recommenders. Applicants provide contact information for each recommender, and then Accepted emails each recommender an online form to fill out. You never have to submit a letter of recommendation or turn in anything on behalf of your recommenders. Now, we strongly recommend that you complete this part of the application process as early as possible so that your recommenders have time to do the form before the January 8th deadline. Both recommenders will complete the same form in which we will ask them about your artistic abilities and potential, how you contribute to the learning environment and or community, and your overall character and fit for GSA. Now, if you have mentors or teachers who know about your artistic work, they're probably the best people to complete these forms. If you don't worry. Simply choose someone who knows you as a student or contributing member of a group or organization, like a club, a youth group, or a sports team. Your recommenders can be teachers from inside of school or outside of school, mentors, community leaders, school administrators. Their job title matters less, and their ability to speak to your strengths matters more. Be sure to contact your recommenders in advance of filling out the application to let them know that they should be on the lookout for recommendation forms in their inbox, and so you can tell them why you think you should get a glowing recommendation. Next, students across all 9 art forms will respond to 2 essay prompts. One will be written and the other will be a video of a verbal response. Students will also respond to some art form specific questions about their experiences and interests in their fields. Now, from there, students are prompted to submit images, videos, and documents specific to your art form's requirements. Again, carefully review the applicant guide to review what is required for your art form specifically. Some art forms, this will be as simple as 1 or 2 uploads. For other art forms, you'll need to create multiple short videos. Give yourself plenty of time to gather your materials by reading the applicant guide as soon as possible. And remember, we are super excited to see your artwork and review your application. Now, we know it can be intimidating to submit your work for scoring and judging, but know that we want you to do well, and we will be impressed with your ambition, discipline, and courage you've exhibited by submitting an application in the first place. So as we start to wrap up the presentation, let's once again review the important dates for GSA applicants. Again, this is our GSA 101 webinar. So we are here at November 14th. This means that there are recordings of the September 29th and October 11th webinars. You're welcome to watch those. And then our next GSA 101 webinar will be on December 1st. In October 6th, that is when the application portal was launched, as well as the applicant guides and the application walkthrough video, which helps you just figure out how to complete your application if you have any questions. Now, we have had one webinar for each art form during the months of October and November, where we'll chat with faculty members about the application process and what GSA is looking for in applicants. I believe the last one we have left, I think we've had all of them, actually. That's so exciting. We're done. Yay. So that means if you missed an art form specific webinar, no worries. The recordings are on our website, so feel free to watch them on there. Now, remember, the webinars are not the only way to get your questions answered. You can email us too. The GSA 2023 application is due by end of day, January 8th. Note that this is a Sunday and the GSA office is not staffed on the weekends. So if you have any questions, January 6th, Friday, January 6th is the last day to call or email us with questions. Do not wait until the last minute to upload your application, if at all possible, because the application system will inherently run slow as more people try to submit their application in the final day or two. So do yourself a favor and get your application in nice and early. We recommend completing your application at least 1 week in advance of the January 8th deadline. Now, students will learn if they've advanced to the second and final round on February 17th, about 1 month before the final round auditions and reviews take place on March 17th and 18th. GSA's final round auditions and reviews will be hybrid, which means that some auditions and reviews will take place in person at the University of Kentucky, and some will take place online via Zoom. Full details are in each applicant guide, and we are closely monitoring COVID-19 and will update the applicants should any changes arise. We will announce the GSA 2023 class, as well as alternates placed on the wait list on April 14th. And finally, the dates of GSA 2023 are as follows. Session 1, June 11th through July 1st, and Session 2, July 9th through July 29th. All students will attend one of 2 sessions. Students are assigned which session they attend and will learn students are assigned which session they attend and will learn the session they've been accepted to along with the class announcement. So what that means is when you find out if you got into GSA, you'll also find out which session you're going to be going to. And I just want to note one more time that although most art forms are going to take place in both sessions, architecture and design is only in session 1 and dance will only be in session 2. So what else can you be doing right now to prepare yourself to apply for GSA? Well, hopefully these final tips are fun ones. We want you to dive into your art form every chance you get, whether it's taking a class, practicing sketching or writing at home, or even just researching the work of other artists online. Learn and experience as much as you can, even if it's just on YouTube. Inform opinions about what you see and learn. Why do you like it? Why do you not like a piece? How do you see GSA's criteria in the work of other artists? Who are some artists you admire? Secondly, reflect on why you like engaging in the arts and what kind of artist you want to be. Then get comfortable talking to people about it. We know it can sometimes be uncomfortable to talk about yourself as an artist, but you've got nothing to lose. Chat with your family and friends about your art form, your dreams for your artistic future, and how you want to grow. Maybe even ask them about their creative interests as well, even if it's just cooking or crafting. It's a great way to prepare for the GSA application process, and it can be a wonderful way to deepen your relationships with family and friends. No, come on, slide. There we go. Now, throughout all of this, remember that while GSA is a wonderful program, we are not the end-all be-all. We do not get to determine whether or not you are a good artist or whether you have a future in the arts. The GSA application process is competitive. We usually see between 1,200 and 1,400 applicants for our 512 slots, but don't let that hold you back. We hope you'll apply because you believe you deserve an opportunity like this one. If ultimately you aren't accepted into the program, our hope is that you feel proud for putting yourself out there and that you feel more determined and prepared for other opportunities. You are an artist, and no one, including GSA, can take that away from you. So if at any time throughout the application process, you start to have any self-doubt or second thoughts or feel down about yourself, we hope you remember the next few things. If my slide will move. There we go. You are enough. You are important. You are an artist, and your potential is limitless. No one can take that from you. And don't forget, we are here to answer your questions and support your ability to put your best foot forward. You can contact GSA with any kind of questions at 502-566-5192. That is our office line. We are in office from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Or you can email us at gsainfo@kentuckyperformingarts.org. So with our emails, we typically have a 48-hour turnaround. There are no scary adults at GSA waiting to judge you. We love chatting with our applicants. It is our pleasure and our job to help you out. You can also follow us on social media. You can search our program name on Facebook, and our Instagram handle is @KYGSA. So thank you all so much for attending our virtual info session. Now that you are armed with all this information, you are well on your way to being the best GSA applicant you can be. Now I want you to keep in touch. Good luck, and as we say at GSA, go forth and make great art. Now, we're going to take some time to answer questions. So if you have any questions, I want you to put them in the Q&A box. I can put it in the chat for you. One second, let me get our email address here. All right. Okay. There is the email address. Oh, I see some questions in the Q&A. This is exciting. What projects can we expect to be working on if we are accepted into the program? So that really just depends on the art form. I can't say in general. I would say your best bet is to just look at the applicant guide and see like kind of there's a description and it talks about the summer program. So I would look into that. That will probably give you the best answer for this question. Is there any way to pick who you room with? Unfortunately, not really. We like to purposefully have people room with individuals who are who are from a different county or a different art form than you. However, as we mentioned in the slideshow, if someone is transgender or non-binary and needs different accommodations, they're welcome to reach out to us via email or telephone, and we work to be accommodating. Hello, Emma. For creative writing, a manuscript with 1 7-page piece of prose be acceptable? Emma, I would double check the applicant guide, and because I want to tell you something right now and then that be wrong. So I double check the applicant guide, but if the applicant guide does not give you a clear answer there, then email us, okay? So for visual art, there is typically sculpture, painting, drawing, there's one more, printmaking. So those are generally the 4 forms that students work with. But there are also visual guest artists with visual art. So you might have someone who comes in and who might teach you something different. So if you know that you won't be able, this is a great question. If you know that you won't be able to attend one of the sessions, there is going to be a part of for those who make it to the final round, there is a part of the application process where it asks you if you have any session preferences. So that will be the time where a person says like, oh, can only do session 1 because I have like a pre-planned family vacation or something like that. So we do our best to accommodate based on any conflicts and requests that we receive. However, admin does reserve the right to kind of place people based on the program need. However, I will point out one more time that for architecture and design, that only takes place in session 1, and then dance only takes place in session 2. What classes do you take throughout the day in dance, and are they the same every day? So dance, for the GSA's dance program, we have about 3 types. There is dances of the African diaspora, modern, and ballet. So you typically take a class and you're typically taking classes in one of those 3. And then there's also some time where you, I believe it's called composition, which is like choreography. So you spend time working on composition as well. Claire, I will also check out the applicant guide and look at that description, because that's going to give you a great idea as well. For instrumental music, how long does your piece have to be? So that is an excellent question. For instrumental music, it's different depending on the instrument that you are playing. So you need to check out the applicant guide to give you the specific information there. If you apply the 2 art forms, yeah, so you can be a finalist for 2 art forms. You absolutely can. However, you can only be accepted into both. Excuse me, into 1. We got some more questions coming in. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if you have already started working on your GSA application? Nice. Ooh, okay. Awesome, y'all. Dylan, I love the cat heart emoji because I'm a cat lady, so that's always very exciting. All righty. That's a great question. What will happen if you could not make it to in-person final round auditions? So that's something that we handle on a case-by-case basis. There have been people in the past who have not been able to attend the final round auditions in person for whatever whatever reason. So adjudicators can review the material that is already accepted and make a decision from there. However, it's I don't ever want to say you're definitely not going to get in or you're definitely still going to get in. It's just really it depends on the person and the situation. That's a great question, though. We got about 5 minutes left. Does anyone else have any questions? Dean, do we have any questions on Facebook?
No, we sure don't.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Okay, friends. Well, if there is nothing else, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Please do not forget that if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us on the GSA helpline, or you can email us and we will get back to you, okay? So everyone have a wonderful night and go forth and make great art. Oh, and please do not forget to complete the survey. We'll see y'all next time. Julie, there will be a recording of this meeting. It'll be up in about 2 days. Bye, y'all.